जनार्दनशलाकं चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्य स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुता श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगणा संवितं तं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्य श्रीराधा कृष्णपादा सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्विता नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णवंशाय पुंसते श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय चैतन्यानामिने गौरतिषे हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोमे कान्त नमोस्तुते नन्दकाञ्चन गौरी श्रीराधेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी हरिप्रिय विलासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां श्रीजगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे बोल जय श्री चैतन्य There's some issue with this. This always inverted image is showing. Inverted. Yeah. And then everyone is saying that you're inverted color. Inverted. He is also saying a screen is upside down. Okay. I don't know why. I put it here and then this color is always inverted. इसलिए आप उल्टा ऐसे कर ऐसे. It was not there before last time. But this is interesting. Yeah, metal world with an inverted face. What can be done? Still, I did not know this. Yeah. Okay. Okay, hopefully things may be better now. Okay. That's okay. No, it goes. You take too much instead. Fine now. Okay. So, we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter 20. And text is, I believe last time we discussed text 30. And so we went to Plaksha Dweep, and we went to Salmali Dweep, and then we went to Kroncha Dweep, and then we went to Kusha Dweep, and then where we landed last. Plaksha Dweep, Salmani Dweep, Kroncha Dweep, Kusha Dweep. But better than all of them is Nava Dweep. know? So, but anyways, we went to Jammu Deep, Salmali Deep, Plaksha Deep, Salmali Deep, Prancha Deep, Kusha Deep. But in our heart, there should be always Navadvip. So let's go further. We will begin from text 31. Yeah, so the next after Kusha Deep, we'll see. Haribol. Okay, so this is text 31. Tadvipasyapi adipati praya vrato pritihotro namai tasyat ramanaka hataki namano varshapati नियुज्य सा स्वयं पूर्वाजवात् भागवत कर्मशिला एवस्ते. Yeah, I believe we were at Ramayaka. We were at Ramayaka Dweep. The ruler of this island, what is this island? Is Ramayaka? Ramanaka. The ruler of this island. Okay, let us see which is this island. Pushkar. Huh? So we cross Ramayaka and then we reach Pushkar also. So this is chapter 20, and interestingly, we are at verse 30. So, okay, Krancha Dweep we covered, right? Shaka Dweep. Shaka Dweep. After Krancha Dweep is Shaka Dweep, and the ocean of milk is there after Krancha Dweep, and then we reach Shaka Dweep. The big Shaka tree, very fragrant, and its scent is there in the entire island, very fragrant. The master of this island is Medha Tithi, Shaka Dweep. Medha Tithi, and then there are 7 rivers, 7 mountains, and then the 4 castes which resemble Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. No? After that, the inhabitants worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of Vayu. Outside is the ocean of yogurt, and then we read the next Dvipa, Pushkara Dvipa. And Pushkara Dvipa, the Brahmaji is residing. Yeah, that's the point there. Now we go to text 30. What is there in text 30? The mountains are there. The sun god also travels. Okay, it has a mountain called as Manasottara, which forms the boundary between the inner side and the outer side of the island. And the breadth and height are 10,000 yojanas. Is the breadth is 80,000 miles wide, Manasottara mountain, and 80,000 miles. Mount Everest is not even 8 miles. It's 3, It's 3 miles or so. Yeah. 8 kilometers. 8 kilometers means half, na, almost 4 miles or something. Yeah, it's very small. Manasottara, 80,000 miles. No? On that mountain, in the four directions, 5.5 miles. Okay. That is Mount Everest, 5.5 miles. Manasottara is 80,000 miles. So you should ask, which is the topmost mountain in the Bhuloka? You know? No, they will say Mount Everest. No, Manasottara. It's 80,000 miles. Yeah, it's 80,000 miles. So, 80,000 miles. So on that mountain, in the four directions are the residential quarters of demigods, such as Indra. In the chariot of the sun god, the sun travels on the top of the mountain in an orbit called a Samvatsara, encircling Mount Meru. The sun's path on the northern side is called as Uttarayana, and its path on the southern side is called as Dakshinayana. One side represents a day for the demigods, the other side represents a night for the demigods. Now we come to text 31. We are at Pushkaradvi, where there is Manasottara, 80,000 miles. And the Brahmaji is residing in the 1000 petal lotus. And four quarters of the demigods, like Indra. And sun god is traversing around in an orbit, which is called a Samvatsara. Now we go to text 31. The text 31 says, the ruler of this island, the son of Maharaj Priyavrat, named Vitihotra, had two sons named Ramanaka and Dhataki. Ramanaka and Dhataki. He granted the two sides of the island to these two sons and then personally engaged himself in activities for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Oh, Vitihotra had two sons, namely Ramanaka and Dhataki. Sure. Priyavrat Maharaj's grandsons. Yes. Ramanaka and Dhataki. And they were given two sides of the island, and then Vitihotra he engaged himself in activities for the sake of Supreme Personality of Godhead, like his elder brother Medatithi. So Medatithi was the ruler in the priest Shakadvip. 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 Shakadri. Now, if you see, this is very beautiful. Why it is beautiful? The two beautiful aspects here. One of the things is now we have seen as soon as we have crossed Jambudvip, then they are worshipping different demigods. But there is a difference. They are not worshipping demigods as demigods. They are worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the via medium of the demigod. That means they are seeing the demigod part and parcel of the Supreme God. So, and Prabhupada explained, we read the purport last time, that this kind of worship is not is good. But this kind of worship is recommended because there's nothing wrong in that because they are seeing the demigod in the proper place value. But they are not seeing the demigod as a replacement of Krishna. They're seeing the demigod as part and parcel of Krishna. So they are actually worshipping Krishna. And this, and you see, here we are seeing another beautiful detail that their rulers are very much attached to Krishna. Their rulers are very much attached to Krishna. So their rulers, therefore, although the standard worship is through the via medium of the demigods, the rulers, when they are getting opportunity, so the rulers, they themselves are surrendering to the Supreme Personality of God. So this goes to show. This is very similar to the case because we saw Bharat Maharaj also in his life. So we saw Bharat Maharaj also in his life. For the sake of the bringing about the physical welfare of the citizens, Bharat Maharaj was offering various sacrifices, Agnihotra, Chaturhotra, Yajna, for the various demigods. Uh, but in his heart of the heart, he was knowing that he's offering all these sacrifices to Lord Vishnu because he's demigod. The scene is similar here. And that is why Bharat Maharaj was also able to pick up so much bhakti substance that he handed over his kingdom and went to the uh, Gandaki. Yeah, Gandaki river, the Gandaki mountain. No? Gandaki, no? What is the mountain? Gandaki. Uh, so he went. Okay. So next to the Gandaki river, he went, I think. Pulaha Ashram. Pulaha Ashram, yes. Pulaha Ashram is the place. So he went to Pulaha Ashram, and then whole day he was completely absorbed in meditation on Krishna. He could develop so much spiritual substance. We see the Vitihotra and Medatithi also exhibiting the same. Also exhibiting the same. So actually, there is a verse, there is a series of verses in third chapter of Bhagavad Gita where the Lord is telling that someone is too materially attached. Someone is too materially attached. And such a person, uh, the Lord is saying, don't shake such a person's faith. You know, rather think of, because directly we tell him, okay, run Krishna service, Krishna consciousness. Such a person may not be able to take us too materially attached. Such a person, let him engage in the work which they are doing and slowly, redirect that work towards Krishna. So that's what the Lord Krishna himself is saying, like that. So we see many times that these devotees, for the sake of the citizens, they may be doing uh, certain activities which may appear to be ritualistic, say at the level of demigod worship, but that just to bring about or foster certain amount of material welfare. Their consciousness is situated at the lotus feet of Krishna. And then so and they are completely fixed. What is the proof? They are able to take up from all this. Now we may think, oh, it is so captivating. The thousand petals, the lotus, all these petals are golden petals. And Brahmaji is sitting on that. What will be the aroma of that lotus? How good it gets selfie there. Nice. And this is coming just after the ocean of yogurt. So yogurt means buttermilk, no? Chach. Lassi. Curd. Oh, curd. Oh, very nice, no? Curds. Curd, you can drink so much, no? So, yeah, because with an ocean of curd, you can scoop any amount and take with every meal. So sometimes, even if the sabji is not so punch, but you take curd along with it, it's very nice, like that. Is it not? Curd makes it, Here maybe 77. So, it is so sharing for all Vaishnavas benefit that it is 77 rupees kilo. But we see the very rulers of this place, Vitihotra, are not interested in staying, not attached to that place. Although it may be looking very captivating. And the same Medatithi. Now in Medatithi, there was the ocean of milk before that. What was the ocean of milk? You can bathe in milk. You bathe the Lord in milk, that also limited quantity, 56 rupees. So this is saying as we are going from Shakadweep. What is this deep? After Shakadweep, where we have reached, what is this? Pushkar. Pushkar. Pushkar Deep. So we have reached from 56 rupees kg to 76 rupees kg. So milk yogurt, like that. But they are not attached, you see. That they are completely surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord. This is the hallmark of a successful life. Therefore, Prabhupada is to say, bhajan kare, sadhan kare, martya jaan de. बांग्ला, भजन करे, साधन करे, मर्त्या जान ले। Oh, what is the meaning, sir? मर्त्या जान ले हुए। What bhajan and sadhana you have done will be revealed at the time of death. You know, when the semester begin, everyone can be bindas. You know, but good student is one who after the exam also comes out bindas. You know, and who on the day of the results also is bindas. You know, before getting the result, after getting the result also. That is the point. Bhajan kare, sadhan kare, mantya chande. So these devotees, the sons of Maharaj Gariyavara, we can see how they led such a responsible uh, life of an administration of such a big tract of land, which is like a heavenly abode. It's a heavenly planet. I mean, it's a heavenly abode. So on one hand, they did such a kind of a responsibility, and on the second hand, we see that they kept the fervor of their Krishna conscience so strong that in time they are able to quit, surrender to Krishna completely. You know, they are able to quit and surrender to Krishna completely. So that's why Prabhupada was asked by a reporter that, "Arey, why did you take sannyas?" Prabhupada said, "This is natural. Indian tradition, Vedic tradition is like that. Everyone is supposed to take at 75, 80 age, 75 age, everyone is supposed to take sannyas, you know. So nothing special in what I have done. That is the culture. That's what human life is meant. So we see these leaders, they are perfectly exhibiting that. So that is how a perfect leader should be. So they're not bewildered by the razzle dazzle. What razzle dazzle is existing in this material world? Shabby place. What razzle dazzle? You know? Look at the razzle dazzle in these papers. No, Shakadui, one tree, its fragrance is all over. Look at the dimensions of that island. No, no, how one can be amazed seeing a tree and its fragrance is all over. People keep putting deo and then also their body stinks. No, even after finishing bottles and bottles of deo. No? So, like that. We had a colleague in first year. I think he used to stay in Anandapur room. Yeah, I think he used to stay in Anandapur room. Yeah. I think 1.5 or 2 months she had not taken bath. That was the record. 1.5 months. To survive on you. Anandapur room? Maybe I think the next room. Huh? Because I remember I didn't used to feel like going this now. There would be some mobs maybe walking around on his body and clothes and now I was not wanting to go there. To his room, not sitting on his bed, chair, table. So, so these rulers are not infatuated. You see. They're leading a perfect example. That's how a leader should be. A wonderful leader should be like that. It's very beautiful. Let's read further. तद्वर्ष पुरुष भगवन्तं ब्रह्मरूपिणा सकर्मकेन कर्मणा राधायन्तितं चोदहरन्ति. For the fulfillment of material desires, the inhabitants of this tract of land worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead as represented by Lord Brahma. They offer prayers to the Lord as follows. Yattat karmayam lingam brahmalingam jano archaye एकांतम अद्वयम शांतम तस्मै भगवते नमः इति Lord Brahma is known as Karma Maya, the form of ritualistic or ritualistic ceremonies. Because by performing ritualistic ceremonies in an American accent, one may attain this position. That's okay because of it. So one may attain his position by performing the ritualistic ceremonies. One may attain his position, and because the Vedic ritualist hymns become manifest from him, he is devoted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead without deviation, and therefore, in one sense, he is not different from the Lord. Nevertheless, he should be worshipped not as the Munis worship him, but in duality. One should always remain a servitor of the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Worshipable Deity. We should therefore offer our respectful obeisances unto Lord Brahma, the form of manifest Vedic knowledge. Now, this is very beautiful. This is how they're glorifying and worshipping Lord Brahma. Very beautiful, no? Absolute and perfect understanding of knowledge. That, okay, let us worship Lord Brahma. Why? Because he is 100% devoted and dedicated to the Supreme Personality. So we should remain dedicated to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we worship Lord Brahma with the very beautiful, wonderful, perfect representative. Perfect representative. It is from him the Vedic knowledge is coming. It's very nice. It is from him that the Vedic knowledge is coming. He the manifest. All ritualistic ceremonies are coming from him, by which one can get elevated. Manifest form, the form of manifest Vedic knowledge. But in this verse, the word karma maya, obtainable by Vedic ritualistic system, is significant. The Vedas say, so dharmanishta, shata, janmadi, kuman, virinchatam, eti. One who strictly follows the principles of varnashrama dharma for at least 100 births will be rewarded with the post of Lord Brahma. It is also significant that although Lord Brahma is extremely powerful, he never thinks himself one with the Supreme Personality of God. He always knows that he is an eternal servitor of the Lord. Because the Lord and the servant are identical on the spiritual platform, Brahma is herein addressed as Bhagavan. Bhagavan is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. But if a devotee serves him with full faith, the meaning of the Vedic literature is revealed to him. Therefore, Brahma is called Brahmalinga, which indicates that his entire form consists of Vedic knowledge. Brahmalinga. The entire form consists of Vedic knowledge. Oh, the inhabitants of the Pushkaradeep here, they are showing us such a beautiful and wonderful manner. They are showing us, how a spiritual master should be seen. And this Prabhupada explains that when a devotee is surrendered to the Supreme Lord in full dedication, then all the imports of Vedic knowledge are revealed to them. So therefore, such a person becomes Brahmalinga. Lord Brahma is one of them. No doubt Lord Brahma is the founder guru of Brahma Sampradaya. So our Sampradaya is founder guru, Lord Brahma. So, and what aspect is being highlighted? His dedication. And because of his dedication, the imports of the Shastras are revealed. So that is the point. See, the point is that when we try to embark upon spiritual life on our own, using our own whims and fancies, using our own mindset, then because we are tainted and painted by the three modes and conditionings and vices, all our understandings are painted and tainted with that. And because of this reason, no matter how much we try on an individual footing, one cannot uh, remain stable on the spiritual plane. And one cannot actually proceed towards emancipation because we are tainted and painted. Uh, so when we apply our own intelligence and give full faith to our intelligence and then take decisions, then it's going to be risky. So that is why the Lord Krishna, out of his extreme great mercy, is presented to us the opportunity to connect to a bona fide spiritual master. That is the greatest benediction which one can achieve in the eternity of one's existence. That one has got shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, a bona fide parampara, and a bona fide spiritual master introduces one to the community of Vaishnavas. No? So that family, when one connects to, that is a great fortune. Why? Because now one gets now the revelations of the bona fide spiritual master create an awakening in a disciple's heart. Therefore, the path of spiritual life can only become clearer by the mercy of the spiritual master. That is why Prabhupada said, satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the key for spiritual advancement. Prabhupada explains this in the purport to 434 Bhagavad Gita. तद्विधि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानिनः तत्त्वदर्शिनः. The Tattvadarshina, the satisfaction of the self-realization master, the Tattvadarshina, is the key for spiritual advancement. It's the key. Because that is what happened. Like I was very interested towards initiation. And I was waiting for the day I was get initiated. And for the day I'll get to see the official shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. And it was taking many years. And it takes many years. And I used to feel very restless. And I used to feel if I die before that, it'll be such unfortunate. You know? So so it took 6 years, 6, 7 years, you know? 6 years. Uh ever since standing 16, 6, 7 years around. 6 years, 6 years, almost. Mm. So uh but initiation is not a one state moment. Initiation is a moment to moment process. You know? The kickstart happens with the formal initiation. Then okay, no, if you want, anytime you can connect. Connection is available. But then on, from then on, the opportunity is there that the connection is open for us for all time, anytime connection. And then we need to connect. The more we are connected, then the path of bhakti becomes very. The Raja used to say, I was very young in Krishna consciousness, second year, first year, second year. He used to say, oh, after initiation, spiritual life becomes very fast. No? Like that. So we ask, yeah, spiritual life becomes very fast. Because when we go close to the great souls, all the haziness and craziness gets washed out, and the path becomes crystal clear. The path becomes crystal clear. All these material conditionings and anarthas, they create haziness, and because of haziness, for the next effect is craziness. You know? And if there is haziness and craziness for spiritual activity, there will be laziness. Huh? So all these are symptoms that we need an emergency surgery. Yeah. So this is a very beautiful prayer. So how that the spiritual master by his dedication, the Vedic knowledge will give to him. In the Mangalarti prayers also, Nikunja Yono Ratikin, the same thing. Nikunja Yono, no, Jaya, Perfection. Tattara Daksha Rati Vallabhasti. So the Guru is very, very dear to Krishna because he knows the heart of the very intimate associates of Krishna. How? By his dedication and service. Therefore, Tattara the Daksha, that was very expert in pleasing Krishna. So that is why Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, if you want to experience an ecstatic life, then make your desire one with the desire of bona fide spiritual master. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya, Chitte De Koriya. A desire of the spiritual master. We make our desire one with the desire of the spiritual master. Or anakari humane asha. So no other asha. No? Then life will be completely ecstatic. And one can experience such terrific advancement in spiritual life. Terrific advancement in spiritual life. Amazing. We learn from the residents in the Pushkara Vipa. It's very beautiful understanding. Let's read further. ऋषिर्वाच ततः परस्तलोकलोका नाम चलो लोकलोकयोरन्तरले परितापाक्षिप्त. Yeah, so now Loka Loka is coming. Loka Loka is the boundary of the universe. Huh? Yeah. Loka Loka is basically the boundary of the universe. So Loka Loka is the last place where the sunlight goes. Beyond that, no sunlight. So in that sense, Loka Loka. Not here, the sun. That's what it is. Beyond the ocean of sweet water. So after that, there is sweet water, and fully surrounding it. So fully surrounding the sweet water is the boundary. The end of Bhumandala. Bhumandala's last point is Loka Loka. It divides the countries that are full of sunlight and those not lit by the sun. So beyond Loka Loka, no sunlight. So they completely block the sun. Loka Loka. That means they must be huge mountains. Huge mountains. They're stopping the sun. Interesting, huh? So stopping the sun. And mind it, they will not be in a three-dimensional geometry, maybe a higher dimensional geometry. Mhm. All these planets, maybe a higher dimensional geometry. That's what Sadhguru explains. What we are seeing as a disk and islands and like that concentric is just isometric projection. Take 35. Yeah, when Manasottara Purantaram Tavati Yogi Kanchani Anyadarsha Talupama Yasya Pratikita Padatho Na Kanchit Punah Pratyupalabhayate Tasman Sarva Sarva Haritasi. Beyond the ocean of sweet water is a tract of land as broad as the area between the middle of Mount Sumeru. Beyond the ocean of sweet water, okay, is a tract of land as broad as the area between the middle of Mount Sumeru and the boundary of the Manasottaram. In that tract of land, there are many living beings. Beyond it, extending to Loka Loka mountain is another land which is made of gold. Oh. Because of its golden surface, it reflects light like the surface of a mirror. And any physical article that falls on that land can never be perceived again. I don't know whether it's a blessing or a curse. Yes. All the living entities, therefore, have abandoned that golden land. Yeah, they won't see. So, what we call as material opulence is infatuating and attractive only in illusion. Only in illusion. We have to understand this whole material life and whole material consciousness is illusory consciousness. Only in illusion we feel that this whole tract of land is attractive. I mean, this whole material objects, the material object, the material commodities are attractive. So people feel gold, gold with nice gold, gold. They may not even have 1 kilo, 2 kilo gold, you know? Uh-huh. Yeah, people they may not have 1 kilo, 2 kilos. Very little gold they have, and they think they're very proud. Huh? Here, the Lord has supplied to them a whole land. It must be thousands of miles, only made of gold. Only made of gold. And the result is what people cannot tolerate. So we see the point? People cannot tolerate it. Actually, it must be very hot also. Earth is not a good conductor. Gold is very difficult to walk on it also. No? And their eyes may be very, what to say, object fallen also, but seeing here, there, anywhere, it will be a little, miserable experience. And therefore, they have abandoned it. That means couldn't tolerate it. So we see any material opulence, if it is given in abundance, it acts like this. Rather poisonous. What good is material opulence? And people dedicate their whole lives to run behind these material opulence. That is why Krishna feels pity on the materialistic living entity. Krishna feels, though you want gold, I'll put you after no, I'll put you next Loka Loka. No? Enjoy gold, gold, gold everywhere. No? Then person will get, huh? So gold, gold everywhere. No? Like that. Then people are fed up with it. So, so when it is not there, we feel it is very good. A little bit hankering and all that, then we hanker to get more. And when one gets more, one is feeling frustrated. That means what? When you don't have it, then you feel that if I have it, I'll be very happy. If we have a little bit, then you feel if I have more, I'll be very happy. And when we have a lot of it, then we are frustrated with it. That means what? The very object is illusory. What is illusory is the feeling that this object will give me happiness. All material objects are like that. All material objects are like you. The Lord is demonstrating. See, if you want to see and learn, Krishna is demonstrating right away. See, there are thousands of miles of tract of land. Nobody wants to stay there also. of gold, land of gold. Nobody wants to stay there. So, what good is material opulence? What? Nothing. And then the Loka Loka comes. Huh? That means there is a distance between the ocean of. There are two tracts of land after that. Huh? There is one tract of land and many limited entities are there. That seems to be good. And then there is another tract of land where all these. There is another tract of land where all these are there. Uh, there is a mention of Sumeru. Actually, Sumeru is the inverted mountain, which is like the pivot. And Sumeru is the inverted mountain. Uh, the top, the top is a bigger plateau. The bottom is the smaller part of it. And this Jambu Dweep, I mean, this Bhumandala comes as a disk around Sumeru. So, so that means Sumeru seems to be Sumeru is much bigger than Manasupra, it seems. So Sumeru is much bigger than the Manasupra, it seems. So there is this huge plateau, the golden land, intolerable. Actually, our Acharyas are giving the result. They say gold is yellow stool. Bhakti Sansar Thakur Maharaj says gold is yellow stool, same color, no? Yeah, gold is yellow stool. Right? So do you want to smear it on our body? So, the gold is like that only. Why do not answer it? So the infatuation of this metal world is always illusion. So first of all, Maya's commodities are illusory, and that also we don't get it so easily. First of all, it's hollow; it has nothing in it, and then also she doesn't give supply, so we get it little little, and because we get it little little, our illusion is perpetualized because we think that because I have got little, I am not satisfied. Actually, we are not satisfied because it has nothing in it. You have the point? Yes. Actually, we are not satisfied because nothing is there in it. But we think, because I got less, because I want to get more, therefore I am not satisfied. And thus a person keeps running after this metal energy, life after life. And what he gets? Nothing. Because running after nothing. If you run after nothing, you'll get nothing at best. Yes. Well, you may get wounded, you may get bruised, but at best you will get nothing because you ran after nothing. Huh? Like that. So, because we ran after nothing. Okay, let's read further. It's, text 36. लोक इति समयः यत् अनेन अचलेन लोकालोकस्यान्तर्वर्तिना वस्थाप्यते अचलेन लोकालोकस्यान्तर्वर्तिना Hari bol. No, this is prose. It's not rhythm. No, prose is difficult to get rhythm. Oh, acha. So between the lands inhabited by the living entities and those that are uninhabited stands a great mountain which separates the two and which is therefore celebrated as Loka Loka. ये लोकल लोगों के बाद है गोल्डन। हाँ, वो माउंटेन से सुरंग बना के जाना होगा। Nobody goes. I'm fed up with this. सर्वोपतलयन्ते परिता ईश्वरविहितो यस्मात् सूर्याधीनं दीना ध्रुवपवर्गना ज्योतिर्गणना नभास्तायो अर्वाचीनां स्त्रीलोकान् अवितान् मनन कदाचित् पराचिना भव भावितुम् उत्सहन्ति तावत् उन्नाहनयमः। By the supreme will of Krishna, the mountain known as Loka Loka has been installed as the outer border of the three worlds, the Bhur, Bhuvaha, and Swa. Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha. So Bhuloka is what we studied, the seven Dvipas, starting with Jambu Dvipa, ending with uh, Pushkara Dvipa. Bhuvan is just 100 miles above, just 100 miles above Bhuvan. So ghosts live there. Ghosts and Rakshasas and all that, they are somewhere Bhuvar or Swarga, in that plane only they are. The Rakshasas also. Jambudvip is Bhumandal. We live a part of, we come in a part of Jambudvip. So to control the rays of the sun throughout the universe, all the luminaries from the sun up to Dhruvaloka distribute their rays throughout the three worlds, but only within the boundary formed by this mountain. Because it is extremely high, extending even higher than Dhruvaloka, it blocks the rays of luminaries, which therefore can never extend beyond it. So Loka are extremely high mountains. They go up till Dhruvaloka, block even the Dhruvaloka's rays. When we speak of Lokatraya, we refer to the three primary planetary systems, Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha, into which the universe is divided. Surrounding these planetary systems are the 8 directions: east, west, north, south, northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest. Loka mountain has been established as the outer boundary of all the lokas to distribute the rays of the sun and other luminaries equally throughout the universe. This vivid description of how the rays of the sun are distributed throughout the different planetary systems of the universe is very scientific. See, Sukadeva Goswami described his universal affairs to Maharaj Parikshit as he had heard about them from his predecessor. He explained these facts 5,000 years ago, but the knowledge existed long before because Sukadeva Goswami received it through the disciplic succession. Because this knowledge is accepted through the disciplic succession, it is perfect. The history of modern scientific knowledge, on the contrary, does not go back to more than a few hundred years. Therefore, even modern scientists do not accept the other actual presentations of Srimad Bhagavatam. How can they deny? Oh, therefore, even if modern scientists do not accept the other factual presentations of Srimad Bhagavatam, how can they deny the perfect astronomical calculations that existed long before they could imagine such things? There is so much information to gather from Bhagavatam. Modern scientists, however, have no information of other planetary systems, and indeed are hardly conversant with the planet on which we are now living. Look, it's humanity. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Look is a luminary. Lokaloka is the pivot of the universe, and the Lokaloka are blocking the Lokaloka rays also. So this is the outer boundary of the universe actually, Lokaloka. How much is this? The calculation is shown 8 billion, I think, miles. 4 billion or 8 billion? 8 billion. Yeah. Something like that. 4 billion or 8 billion miles. That's the boundary of the universe. Means Lokaloka will come after that. And that's the boundary of the universe. So Lokaloka founds the boundary. Oh, the luminary. Very huge. That's enormous. I have a question related to the sun rays. As we know, there are many stars in our universe. Actually, which star is being talked of here? Is our sun or some other star? Yeah, every universe has one sun, as far as what Vedas are talking about. All the other stars are not luminary. There is one sun in the universe. That's what the Vedas say. So the other stars, they are not luminaries. In a universe, there is only one luminary. That is the sun, and that is the sun. Yeah. So because the Vedic understanding is luminaries are limited. The sun is a luminary for Bhuvaswaha. The other lokas, that is Mahaloka, Janaloka, Satyaloka, they are illuminated by the moon. The moon is a cold light source, and we read it in Prabhupada's purpose in this section only. And when Kusha grass is burned, there is fire, but it is very cooling and pleasing. So probably at the moon, something like Kusha grass type of material is burning. So the moon is sun, light source, and that moon and what we refer to as moon is different because Prabhupada said what we refer to as moon must be Rahu. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Prabhupada said that once. Maybe Rahu, yeah. So what we are referring to as moon, huh? Where we are sending our rhetoric tractors and all that. Probably it is Rahu, not moon. or no, or probably it is just. I mean, it is not the moon which Shastras are talking about. The moon which Shastras are talking about uh, is a light source. Do you have questions? Mountain. It depends on the dimension. It encapsulates the universe, the boundary of the universe. That's it. Not the whole universe, physical universe. Yeah. But it is more, it is in terms of light years. Yeah, so 8 billion miles will be how many? 8 billion miles is the boundary of the universe. Like Himalayan boundary. Yeah, Himalayas are boundary. That's how it is boundary. The boundary of Bhumandala actually, basically, or you can say the boundary of Bhumandala, like that. Actually, these all planets are inside the stem of the lotus. These planetary systems are inside the stem. Now, from here to the boundary of the stem of the lotus, on the top of which Brahmaji is born. So that's unfathomable. That distance not mentioned. So that moonlight which you are getting now is actually is the target moonlight is the source of gives taste to vegetation. Yeah, yeah. Moon is illuminated. So there are many things which are possible. We may be seeing a projection of that moon, and we are getting a minuscule sample of that. Right? Maybe possible. That is one understanding. Because not mentioned in the Shastras is very difficult to ascertain. Because this is higher dimensional planes being talked about. We can speculate, but that speculation may not be much worth. Because not required. Yeah, because what happens that too much details we won't be able to compile also because there's higher dimensional details being talked about. So therefore, it is best we just relish what is revealed. No, so the point is what if it was needed for us, those details might have been revealed by the Acharyas. It's not that Sukdev Goswami doesn't know, but he's not speaking it because not required. That's simple as that. But what he's speaking, why he's speaking what he's speaking, why he's speaking what he's speaking, just to let us know that this universe is beyond our imagination. Better be humble and chant Hare Krishna. So this is just given as a sample flavor for us to understand that it is overwhelming. It is overwhelming actually. No? Uh, so mm, yeah, it is overwhelming actually. So the now the light what we are getting in the night may be coming from the moon which the Shastras are talking about. And what we are seeing may be just a part of Jambudvip which is just reflecting that light. Anyways, according to Vedas, all these stars are just reflecting the light of the sun. Vedas say that. So how that mechanism works, it's complex because it's higher dimensional and it's not revealed. And we can speculate, but there is no point in that speculation much because it won't benefit us. See, one thing is cosmology is a complex thing. Only fragments of it are actually revealed. Only fragments of this cosmology are revealed, and it is higher dimensional. And what is revealed is also mind-boggling. Now the point is, we can speculate and try to create a model, which is what some of our devotees are doing in the Temple of Vedic Planetarium, the TOVP. So, which is what some of the devotees are doing. So, the devotees who have presented models, they have researched. Some of them are quantum, yeah, astrophysics PhDs, and like that. Some of them have been researching very long. But what they have done is that they have also, you know, now based on whatever portions of details, now fill in the blanks have to be done. Now, if some things are highlighted, the whole picture, then you have to create your own model and speculation. The point is now, okay, 4 5 devotees, very expert gave models. Out of them, one model is selected for DOP and all that. So So that model is just to satisfy again the mind of people that okay, something like this may be the case. So these things are revelations, and maybe we can make a model like with those revelations. But actually, it is just to satisfy uh, an itch. That's all. Because cosmology, how it is, has no much impact to our day-to-day lives. Uh, and that is why the Shastras do not reveal too much great details. They only give a glimpse to let us know that how it is so complex. And anywhere in the universe you go, people are chanting Hare Krishna. And why are we not chanting, sitting in, governmental meeting,
The circuit planet में through the owner is about 7 forest.
Yeah, so all the owners are dedicating their lives, everything let me run after money throughout my life. So you see those, so that is the whole purpose. So when we understand things for the purpose for which it is disseminated, then your understanding will be good. But when we try to, uh, so therefore, the whole thing is okay. Certain devotees or PhDs and astrophysics are presenting a model of DOVP. It will be satisfactory to some, may not be satisfactory to some, because the model, it's not the reality which is stated in the Shastra. The Shastra is not revealing it. Yeah, they're just giving a glimpse or to bring us to a higher and more important point. Like sometimes we say, okay, this I'm just doing very short just to give you an idea, but this is the main thing, focus. And so नहीं वही चाहिए मुझे जो मैं तो पढ़ना ही है because it won't change the index of our life even if we understand how cosmology is at the end of our life after 50 years of research what good difference it makes to our life and what good difference it makes to life of anybody. Whereas there are other important sections of the Vedas are speaking about more detail. We understand the mind, we can control the mind. Veda what? We understand the mind, we can control the mind. If we understand the soul, then we can actually uh, then we can awaken the soul, the nature of the soul. No? If we understand Krishna, our anarthas get destroyed. That is why those aspects are explained in greater detail. Like this.
How's that relevant to your progressive Krishna?
Yeah, that's the point. So, so therefore, yeah. So many sometimes Prabhupada not no, like so. So therefore, it is good to understand the message of the Shastras holistically. So that's why when we present also, we are not too eager to present cosmology because uh, although this cosmology is phenomenal and no, amazing, but then very few glimpses are shown. So, but there are places which are the strength of the scriptures, and it is good to highlight them. And this is good as a passing knowledge. It's good as a passing knowledge. So that is the idea. So you will see when Sukadev Goswami is speaking any detail about cosmology, he's either showing that there the inhabitants are chanting Hare Krishna, the rulers are chanting Hare Krishna, they just surrendered to Krishna, they're worshipping the deities. That's all Sukadev Maharaj is aiming at. So we catch the main thing. We catch the main thing that is good. So we can relish whatever is revealed, understanding that it is a very beautiful and wonderful picture beyond our imagination also. But if somebody is too insistent and caught up and locked up, yes, one can dedicate one's life to the study of astrophysics in the light of the cosmology. And there are some devotees who are expert in that, who are anyways doing that. One can take apprenticeship and work on it, like that. And probably by the end of the life, one may get a little better understanding. All the while, one should at least continue chanting the Hare like that. So, uh, so again, we have to be, yeah. So in research also, like spiritual research also, it's important to understand what to do spiritual research. Something which can have direct impact in people's life is much better. Like if you model mind consciousness, people can take up chanting very seriously. We can explain the process of bhakti more seriously. Like so, probably mind may be more important than the materials and all that research. Because even if you do spiritual research, it doesn't change the. It doesn't have. I mean, what impact it has in people's lives? That's the whole. So, uh, yeah. So we can relate, but so cosmology is something to be related. We can use our logic and do a little bit. And one thing we can understand, it whatever is revealed is something very amazing and very perfect and foolproof. To see how one aspect is thought of, how Loka will just do the boundary. It's very nicely well thought of, and it's a well thought of place. How the geometry is, how the Lord has filled it. Wonderful it is.
What is there that right now, as per the cosmology, we are sitting in the outer world of the environment. In the outer world, yeah, the lotus petal to the outer world is behavior. Yeah, जो 100 petals देख अंदर वाला वर्ल्ड इसमें कौन सा था बोले जब तक
Yeah, 108 petals Kolkata comes, 1008 petals Kharagpur. 1008 petals the Kharagpur comes. And the last point of Governmental is Raymond. Keshav Gopinath is the last point of Governmental. Beyond that, the Governmental is not there. Beyond that, after some distance, Nilachala will start. After a good amount of distance, not some distance. 1008 petals. 8 petals is Navadip. Inner wall is Antadip plus 8 petals plus 108 petals plus 1008 petals. So we are right now in the 1008 petals. Kharagpur. Hari Bol. Last. Ramana is last in government. 1008. Part of 1000.
इसका जो 1008 पेटल है वो ऐसे सर्कल करते हैं तो ऊपर क्या जाता है
Maharaj बताए थे इसको. जयपता का Maharaj told something Maharaj told I forgot.
login and check बोले जब
जयपता का Maharaj explains that.
class
उस साइड का boundary. Yes. By mistake. So Jayapata ka Maharaj explains. I had heard once, but I forgot. So east, west, south, सब कुछ सकते हैं.
लेकिन आपका ना मात्र एक संयम में
Krishna is given residence, government. Yeah.
Then first में नदी नवदीप का ही चला
So modern scientists have no information because this distances what we are talking about is huge. For them to cross over, for them to fathom even an 80,000 miles mountain is impossible. मानसोत्तर तक भी दिमाग नहीं पहुंचेगा उनको, because in between there are oceans, से बड़े बड़े oceans. Actually, they were pit holes which Priyavrat Maharaj made. Krishna filled them with nice Mahaprasad, for people to enjoy. That's how they became oceans. अच्छा है सारे के सारे स्वीट वाटर और with nice it is.
डायरेक्टली बीच में ऑफिस नहीं
लेयर्स है ना पेट्रोल का एक नेक्स्ट लेयर उसको बोलते हैं यू नो इनर मोस्ट वर्ल और नेक्स्ट इनर वर्ल आउटर वर्ल
तीन
उसके बाद होगा 10,000 लेकिन भूमंडला गौरमंडला 1,008 that's what is explained in the Shastra. Gurukul Thakur explained.
अंदर भी सेंटर ऑफ जनरल ऑफ लेकिन आपको जन
ISKCON का काफी पोर्शन अंदर दिखता है. Most of ISKCON is in अंदर. थोड़ा सा ही पोर्शन इसमें है. Most of ISKCON is in अंदर. Okay, so let's see first. Nevertheless, there are more detailed explanations about cosmology. Certain expert devotees do. No? So what I have explained is a layman's, average layman's understanding. But there are, yes, there are a little more detailed explanations to some of the devotees who are anyways doing research. Like that. There are devotees. Those explanations are a little more detailed. So TOVP, they are incorporating, the best of the devotees' understanding and then making a model. There's some satisfaction of people that universe is amazing, like that. And this is just a fragment of universe, by the way. They're only talking about Bhu Bhuva Swaha. उसके बाद है ना महर लोक का, जन लोक का, तपलोक का, है ना, सत्य लोक का, ब्रह्म लोक का. नीचे भी है डेंजरस. अतला वितला सुतला तला तला रसतला माता. Yeah, so when you take shelter of Krishna, and the entire ocean of the material world is converted into footprint of a car, and one can very easily cross it. One can, yeah, but we can understand the best explanations. And really. Okay, text 38. एतावलोकगणयसो मनलक्षणं संस्थाभिर्विचिन्तितः कविभिः पञ्चशात्कोटिगणितस्य गोलस्य तुर्याभागोऽयं लोकलोकाचलः. Learned scholars who are free from mistakes, illusions, and propensities to cheat have thus described the planetary systems and their particular symptoms, measurements, and locations. With great deliberation, they have established the truth that the distance between Sumeru and the mountain known as Lokaloka is 1/4 of the diameter of the universe. So Sumeru is the pivot, as we said, that mountain, and this is a disk. So this we take as the central point, Sumeru, was an inverted mountain. So the bottom part of it is the central point. Then till Lokaloka, see, it's saying 1 billion miles. So, huh?
total 4 billion.
तो 1 billion है ना? Oh, this is 1/4 of the diameter of the universe. Yes. This is Loka Loka, 1/4 of the diameter of the universe. The Loka Loka is 1/4 of the diameter of the universe. So that means the universe is 4 billion miles. That's what we were saying. 4 billion. Yeah, not million, billion. After Loka Loka, भगवान के पास बहुत स्पेस हम लोग जीवन भर पैसे कमाते रहते हैं ना, 1 कट्टा आधा कट्टा लैंड लेने के लिए 10 कट्टा 20 कट्टा है। भगवान के पास billions and billions of which and Hare Krishna, you can inherit that from. ध्रुव महाराज को ध्रुव लोक दे दिया।
36,000 years doing it.
No, after 36,000 years he got for eternity.
But the 36,000 years नीचे में करना पड़ा ना, यहाँ पे भी लिख दिया।
That's a Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha planet. It's a Vaikuntha planet within the universe. Embassy Bhagwan. Right. It's not sir. It's not because of the universe.
Yes, this is what we are.
It is the pivot of the universe. From there, the universe expands. The whole universe goes away, the Dhruv Loka remains. The whole universe is revolving around the Dhruv Loka. Dhruv Loka will remain, the whole universe will go. तो बाकी सब यूनिवर्स उसमें चला जाता है। भगवान विष्णु तो वहीं बैठे। Lord Vishnu is there present. Dhruv Maharaj is there, Lord Vishnu is there. Okay, so let's read further. 1 billion miles is the Sumeru to Loka Loka. 1/4 of the diameter of the universe. Anyway, this is the radius. No? Sumeru to Loka Loka is radius anyway. So that, so is the radius, and that much more space is there, and then the universe ends. So then the Anda, Brahmanda, that Anda boundary is. And that same thing this way also, this side also. वो अंडा में भी 7 layers रहते हैं। ये नहीं है 7 नहीं, 8 अर्थ वाटर एयर फायर ईथर के कवरिंग्स रहते हैं, और फिर माइंड इंटेलिजेंस ईगो के भी कवरिंग्स रहते हैं। बहुत सॉलिड पैकेजिंग है भगवान, इसीलिए भगवान ही निकाल सकते हैं। इतना टर्नओवर, इतना सॉलिड पैकेजिंग है, नोबडी कैन एस्केप, कोई सुरंग नहीं बना सकता। Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given accurate astronomical information about the location of the Loka Loka mountain, the movements of the sun globe, and the distance between the sun and the circumference of the universe. However, the technical terms used in the astronomical calculations given by the Jyotir Veda are difficult to translate into English. Therefore, to satisfy the reader, we may include the exact Sanskrit statement given by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, which records the exact calculation regarding the universal.
मैं तो भगवान की कृपा में एक
See, Prabhupada is like an expert teacher. Prabhupada is explaining both the aspects. First of all, Prabhupada gave a glimpse of how wonderful, mind-boggling, and complex it is. And secondly, now Prabhupada is saying it's beyond us. So both understandings are important. Otherwise, you may say, it's not true only. It is true. You see the glimpse of it and you will be, dumbfounded. No? See the glimpse of it and you will be dumbfounded. And now the Prabhupada is saying, okay, you can enjoy the Sanskrit. No? Our Acharyas have explained even greater details. Hmm. The Acharyas have 8 for the like the universal is the Maya. They give their body. They go to Brahman. It's like they get rid of the idea. By Krishna's mercy. Krishna. So the Krishna's mercy. But they're entering the Brahman and the soul doesn't have all the body. So the soul doesn't have all the. Yeah. False ego. Like they're nothing. Yeah. They have the false ego. तो ब्रह्मन में है ना उनकी आइडेंटिटी को what is the question? Is there a layer of false ego also? That you are asking? How can it cause the false ego? But Krishna mercy, na? Man proposes, God disposes. But their ego is not being. That is why they are not entering, na? You say. If they give up their ego, they will go directly to spiritual world. ना? वहाँ पे ego की वजह से अटके हुए हैं. Because they wanted to be one with Krishna, वो one हो जाते हैं वहाँ जाके. जाने की पहले भी नहीं उतना तक भेज देते हैं. कृष्णा मर्सीफुल है. पहले भेज देते हैं बाद में अपने आप ही गिरते हैं. भगवान को गिराने की जरूरत नहीं. विरजा है ना उसके बाद में. आफ्टर दैट इज विरजा ना फिर स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड चालू. भगवान की दुनिया में बार्गेन नहीं कर सकते. भगवान की दुनिया में कोई बार्गेन नहीं कर सकता है. Therefore, when Jay Vijay are stopping the Sanat Kumar, actually Jay Vijay did a mistake. They are thinking, who are these bargaining in? But वैकुंठा में तो कोई बार्गेन कर ही नहीं सकता भगवान की मर्जी के बिना. They are walking freely means Krishna has allowed them to. तो ये थोड़ा सा मिस्टेक हो गया जय विजय. Krishna only made, come under that. Jay Vijay. I heard it before. But it's there are 24 Vishnu. नारायण फॉर्म. तो कम से कम 24 वैकुंठा तो है.
There are more than 800 Vaikuntha that brother, but they were very specialist of my capital.
Lord Vishnu exists in Vaikuntha, na? It's not difficult to understand. So Dhruv Lord Vishnu, there is Vaikuntha. Then down also Lord Vishnu sitting. Shri Sagar Lord Vishnu sitting. Shri Sagar is another one. So a lot of Vaikunthas are there, don't worry. There is lower planet with combating dangerous places. Lower planets are dangerous places. There is no sunlight there. How they are lit? The Nagas' hoods. Fire nahi, light. They are diamonds studded on Naga's hood. That is how that the lower planetary systems are lit. Advantage.
all look at the block to be different. On the other hand, subcontractor to be different. It is not.
There will be some rulers, but Krishnagঞ্জ is more difficult there. The most sensual places. Sutala, Lord Vamandev is there because of Bali Maharaj's presence. But other places are little, and Bali Maharaj is there for some time. Very soon he'll become the next Indra. Very soon, मतलब ये है कुछ thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years. So the next युगा में बनेंगे ऐसा बोला, something like that. Or next Manvantara it is said. In both है, that means millions of years. Or now, but declare हो गया है. Like in Canada, next prime minister declared, but he's not taken office still. Yes, like that. So the declaration is done. Next Indra will be Bali Maharaj. तो तब तक भगवान सुतला में है वामन देव के रूप like that. Still going not recommended. क्योंकि कहीं गलती से इमरजेंसी क्रैश लैंडिंग करना पड़ा कहीं बीच में तो गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. अतला वितला बहुत डेंजरस जगह है. Very cost. Lot of sensual. Lot of facilities are there, but sensuality is at its peak. So Krishna consciousness will be none of it. Like that. Our planet's sensuality is less. So Krishna consciousness is more. Swarga, the enjoyment is more, but beyond that, the sensuality is less. Mode of goodness is more. Therefore, they say that Brahmaloka, many people can still go back to God. There's a lot of chances there. Still some will. Here? Yeah, every. Yes. Okay, so let's read further. So this is a wonderful explanation, and you can read it at your leisure. Verification. Seems to be good one. What it means, enjoy. They wanted to be revealed through some devotees or Sanskrit experts or something. Okay, so now we are here. Tad upar histak cha tarasa asaswatama yonina kilajak gurunadhi niveshita ye virat pataya rishabha pushkarachud vamano parijata iti sakala lokasati hetava. On the top of the Lokaloka mountain are the four Gajapatis, the best of the elephants, which are established in the four directions by Lord Brahma, the supreme spiritual master of the entire universe. The name of these elephants are Rishabha, Puskarachuda, Vamana, and Aparajita. They are responsible for maintaining the planetary systems of the universe. Just enjoy. The beautiful elephants, very amazing. So I believe let's stop here for today. We'll read from text 40 onwards. Translation Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hari Bol.